Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and on today's episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session on the theme of self-love, self-acceptance, but mainly this ability to reframe the past, where perhaps in the past you were either taught or conditioned to not have a positive self-image or even like yourself. And I was working with a client that had a very harsh father, and the father probably had their own traumas in their upbringing, and you tend to have these kind of cycles that repeat over generations. But it meant that as a child, the client that I was working with was very harshly treated, criticized a lot, couldn't do anything right. And that became a voice that then became in their own head. So they would be very self-critical and very harsh on themselves and beat themselves up, because that's what they had experienced as a child throughout most of their childhood. This particular client had a specific time in their life where they were working in the ski resort that they felt full of self-acceptance. They liked who they were, what they were doing, how they were doing it, and their self-esteem was very high. So this uses an element of regression to reactivate those elements of self-esteem and a form of inner child work or staged disassociation. So they get to see how their father treated them and what they would do different now with that high self-esteem and high self-image and high self-worth, and realizing that they could still establish high standards, which is normally the underlying intention of being critical, is to have high standards, but from a place of love and kindness and encouragement rather than harsh criticism and beating someone down. And you'll hear that over three different themes of memories at different times in their life: a childhood memory, an adolescent memory, and a young adult memory. But what's interesting is the young adult memory was themselves being critical to themselves, and instead they get to be supportive and encouraging in the same thing. It's deliberately ambiguous because I wanted the client to re-listen to the recording and choose different memories each time, so they could really have this element of what would it be like to have this positive self-image and high self-worth, and would it give them more of the life that they would actually want? Because you get this fascinating thing with low confidence and low self-image, and that is that it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you don't like yourself very much, you don't tend to treat yourself very well. And if you don't have confidence, you don't try things as much. And that can give you more evidence that, you know, your feelings about yourself are true. But this cycle can be broken, and it can be broken by believing that actually, what if your conditioning, your programming was false code? It was inappropriate belief systems that were never true. And if you treat yourself well and believe yourself to be worthy and good and capable and competent and act as if that's true, then you find the evidence to support it all along. So if you'd like to have a higher feeling of kind of confidence, self-esteem or self-worth, and you might benefit from this session, some of the references perhaps to father-son relationship or the skiing element might not map across to you because it was created for a specific client. Ignore what's irrelevant, focus on what's relevant for you. Like anything, I consider hypnosis like a large buffet. Take the bits you like and leave anything behind that you don't like. But at the same time, if you do want something which is crafted and created specifically for you, there will be a link in the show notes that you can either book a free consultation call with me, or even actually just book a recording. It's a lower rate to book a recording, and you just send me all your notes and I create a recording. most of my clients actually, they're working with me live, and the recording is what was recorded from a real interactive session. But the other option is available too. So bear that in mind. But for now, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, resourceful breath of relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release, that you're able to let go, to release any tension, any worries, and just allow it to leave your body in your outward breath. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling tension, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. I want to use the power of your imagination to imagine a snow globe. One of those little ornaments. The kind of snow globe that when you shake, it looks like snow is falling. And I want you to imagine that in that snow globe are things that are familiar from a particular time in your life. Maybe a mountain shape that you recognize. Maybe a resort, or a ski shop, or something else. Imagine it all in the snow globe, and just imagine shaking that snow globe. And as the snow settles, imagine what it would be like to become someone inside the snow globe. And I want you to imagine observing yourself at a particular age where your definition of being good enough was matched. See that version of you with sky-high confidence, insatiable self-esteem, as you realize that that version of you at that time in your life, when you compared your ideal self with your current self, they were one and the same. So you already know what it feels like to have high confidence, high self-worth, and a self-image that is brimming with confidence. And perhaps you can remember a particular moment that exemplifies and represents the essence of that feeling. And when you can witness that memory, let me know by nodding your head. And then step into that version of you, remembering what it was like to feel that when you looked at yourself in the mirror, you loved who you saw. That version of you wouldn't have wanted to be anyone else. That version of you made evaluations that showed you in your most positive light. And notice how your life at that time reflected those evaluations. You held yourself in high esteem, and people around you acted accordingly. You already know what it feels like to accept yourself, like yourself, and to admire who you see when you look in the mirror. Feel that you are awakening that part. As you can recall that when you felt that good, the harsh criticism wasn't there. Aggressive, moodiness, low self-esteem was absent. I want you to get a sense that you are at your best when you see yourself as you really are. When you make evaluations that you're competent, able, in the right place at the right time, none of those things seem to be there. And therefore you have evidence that you are at your best, not when you're harsh with yourself, but when you're kind, loving, and accepting of yourself. Feel that you are awakening all of those feelings of high confidence, high self-esteem, high self-worth, and find a full-length mirror and feel all of those things within you when you look back and see yourself at your current age. Maybe even hear yourself with your own dialogue. Damn, I look great. And know that it is true. And the more you think about it, the truer it becomes. How many people of your age can do what you can do? You get a sense that you're successful, athletic, smart, kind, caring, full of self-awareness, a loving person. I want you to get a sense that this mirror is not just a mirror, but a portal into the past. And imagine stepping through into that mirror with all of that confidence and self-esteem and seeing yourself as a 10-year-old boy helping your father. I want you to see a boy that just wanted to help, wanted to do the right thing. And I want you to witness as that boy was harshly criticized, yelled at. Not maliciously, but it just came from someone that had never resolved their own issues. And I want you to see that boy wounded, emotionally wounded, hurt. And then just imagine the father goes away and you become a father to that boy. Give that boy a hug. Tell them that you did nothing wrong. Tell them that they are good, they are worthy, they are kind. And I want you to imagine continuing to work perhaps on that thing, but doing it in an encouraging, supportive, loving way. That if a mistake gets made, It's understood, accepted, acknowledged. A mistake gets made, hey, it happens, no big deal. Let's try again. Give yourself the encouragement, acceptance, and support and love that you wanted back then, because you deserve it. And see how that boy changes from that same situation. The same mistakes were made, but it was handled differently. Love, empathy, encouragement, not belittling, criticizing, and attacking. See how the encouragement can lead to even higher standards. Give that younger version of you words of encouragement. Tell them they are destined for great things, and know that that is true. And then visit a different memory, perhaps your teenage years. Observe at how your father perhaps thought you weren't meeting high enough standards. Maybe there was mocking. Maybe there was criticism, trying to dent your ego, your pride. Came from a good place. He wanted you to be your very best, but notice how you took it. Notice how that teenage version of you wanted to be aggressive, to punch, to lash out. Your father was training that dog inside you to be aggressive rather than well-trained and loyal. As you see your father leave that memory, step in, your current age but brimming with self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. Coach that younger version of you. Show them how to be better. Tell them they've got a gift for it, a knack for it. They're capable of doing better than they've ever done before. And notice how that unleashes more motivation, more hunger. You always wanted to make your father proud. And he wanted to be proud. He just used the wrong vehicle. So imagine doing things the way you wanted it. Encouragement, support, belief. Tell that younger version of you how good looking you are, how kind you are, how strong you are, how athletic you are. Tell that younger version of you all the things you wanted to believe and deep down secretly knew were true. Give yourself a hug and tell that younger version of you that you will be unstoppable. Say goodbye and then go forward to one final memory. Perhaps in the aftermath of a relationship not working out, for whatever reason. But I want you to see yourself being harshly critical with yourself, either saying out loud or thinking, not smart enough, not successful enough, not good looking enough. But when you see that version of you really emotionally beating yourself, sneak up and surprise them. The kind of surprise that makes people jump out of their skin. Shock them. And then say, I know what you're doing. And none of it's true. I want you to tell that young adult version of you exactly what you were thinking. And then break it down. Why none of it is true. And perhaps in many cases, the exact opposite is true. Hear the words leaving your mouth. Tell that younger version of you that you are desirable. Women want you. You are worthy of a relationship. You can have whatever you want. Tell that younger version of you the truth, because it is. And see the posture change. That self-loathing turns to self-love. The self-criticism turns to self-acceptance. The harsh words turn to kind, encouraging words. Start to hear your own inner dialogue. Notice how it changes. Some of those harsh words may have even had profanities, and just notice how they dissolve. No big deal, who cares? I'll find someone better. And notice when it's kind and loving and full of confidence, you feel better. And that gives you a spring in your step. And that leads to chance encounters and conversations, which in turn gives you more experiences that prove that you were right all along. You are worthy. You are good enough. You are 100% the person you want to be. And imagine being that age again and realizing how much strength you have, how much energy you have, how much passion for life you have. You would do anything to be that age again. And you wouldn't be harsh to yourself. You would make the most of being that age. And just as you will never be that age again, you will never be your age right now again. Wouldn't it be a shame to realize that you were wrong 29 years in the future without the ability to go back and change it? The ancient Chinese had a proverb. The best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, and the second best time is right now. The best time to make a change would have been back then, but the next best time is right now. And if your unconscious is willing to make that change, to like yourself, accept yourself, to be kind to yourself, let me know by nodding your head. So as you step backwards through that mirror, back in that snow globe world, feel that all of those changes from the past have rippled all the way to the present. And as you look at yourself in that full-length mirror, you see someone awesome, worthy of everything you deserve and more. knowing it's true. In fact, you can't look at yourself without liking what you see, because there's too many good qualities to connect to it. And this is the version that you will bring back to the here and now. And over the next few days and weeks, don't be surprised when you catch a glimpse of yourself in a reflection, in a mirror, or a glass window. Increasingly, you will like, admire, respect, and love who you see reflecting back. And that will give you even more confidence that will lead to even more good things happening. It's time to leave the snow globe world, so take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Start to calibrate with the here and now as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. And you will awaken feeling that the best way of giving a gift to yourself is not with criticism, it's with kindness. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.